You are standing in the auto parts aisle, staring at a wall of plastic jugs, and your owner's manual says 5W-20, but right next to it is 5W-30, and you have heard rumors that the thicker stuff might actually be better for your engine. Confusion sets in. Is your manufacturer lying to you? Are you sacrificing your engine's lifespan on the altar of fuel economy regulations? Or will switching grades destroy your variable valve timing? I have seen engines with 200,000 miles on them that look brand new inside, and I have seen others that are completely toasted at 80,000. And the only difference was the oil viscosity choice. Today, we are not just comparing numbers on a bottle. We are comparing the life expectancy of your investment. It is time to cut through the marketing fluff and get down to the raw physics of lubrication. If you want to stop guessing and start protecting your engine like a professional, do yourself a huge favor and smash that subscribe button for Care Xpert right now. I am going to expose the real reason why 5W-20 became the standard almost overnight and why it has nothing to do with engine protection. We will cover the shear effect that turns thin oil into water, the truth about cold starts that most people get wrong, and why your high-mileage engine might be screaming for a switch. Stick around, because detail number 7 is a specific warning about modern turbo engines, where using the wrong drop of oil will cost you a new turbocharger. Number 1, the CAFE standard conspiracy. The most important thing you need to understand is that the recommendation on your oil cap is often a legal compromise, not an engineering best practice. In the United States, manufacturers are bound by CAFE, Corporate Average Fuel Economy, standards. To meet these strict government targets, engineers are forced to recommend thinner oils like 5W-20 because they reduce internal fluid drag, which improves fuel economy by a fraction of a percent. That fraction is meaningless to your wallet at the gas pump, but when multiplied across millions of vehicles sold, it saves the manufacturer millions in federal fines. They are essentially prioritizing a tiny theoretical MPG gain over the long-term protection of your bearings. In many cases, the exact same engine sold in Australia or Europe, where these specific fuel laws don't exist, will recommend 5W-30 or even 5W-40. This proves that the engine can handle thicker oil. The legal department just doesn't want you to use it. Number 2, the cold start misconception. There is a massive myth floating around that you need 5W-20 because it flows better in the winter. Let's look at the numbers. The 5W stands for winter rating, and since both oils share this number, they have virtually the same viscosity characteristics at roughly -30 degrees. Whether you pour 5W-20 or 5W-30 into a freezing engine, the pumpability is nearly identical during those critical first seconds of startup. The difference only kicks in once the engine reaches operating temperature. That's the second number. So if you are terrified that switching to 5W-30 will starve your engine on a cold morning in Minnesota, you can relax. You are getting the same cold flow protection, but you are gaining a much more robust safety net once that engine heats up and you merge onto the highway. Number 3, the high heat shear stability. Once your engine is up to temp, especially in summer or while towing, oil undergoes immense stress. This is where 5W-20 shows its weakness. Under high load, oil can temporarily lose its viscosity, a phenomenon called shearing. 5W-20 is already thin. When it shears, it can become dangerously close to the consistency of water. This thin film can rupture under the extreme pressure of the crankshaft bearings, allowing metal-to-metal contact. 5W-30, being thicker at operating temperature, has a higher high-temperature high shear HTHS rating. It maintains a durable cushion between moving parts even when the engine is practically melting from heat. If you drive a truck, an SUV, or even a sedan in a hot climate, that extra thickness is the only thing standing between your rod bearings and a catastrophic spin. Number 4, the high mileage Band-Aid. As engines age, the gaps between moving parts, called tolerances, naturally get wider due to wear. A 5W-20 oil that worked fine when the engine was factory tight will now slip right through those wider gaps. This leads to lower oil pressure and that annoying ticking sound from your lifters or cam phasers. Switching to 5W-30 can be a miracle cure for aging engines. The slightly thicker fluid fills those worn voids more effectively, restoring oil pressure and quieting down the valve train. It acts as a hydraulic seal that the thin stuff just can't provide anymore. I have had customers come in thinking they needed a new engine because of the noise, and a simple oil change to 5W-30 silenced the rattle instantly. It is the cheapest mechanic in a bottle fix you will ever find. Number 5. The consumption correction. If you are constantly topping off your oil level between changes, 5W-20 might be the culprit. Because it is so thin, it has an easier time sneaking past worn piston rings and valve stem seals, entering the combustion chamber where it gets burned off. This not only lowers your oil level, but also poisons your catalytic converter with phosphorus and ash. Moving up to 5W-30 increases the surface tension just enough to stop this bypass in many cases. It stays in the crankcase where it belongs, rather than turning into blue smoke out of your tailpipe. If your car is drinking a quart every 1,000 miles, don't just accept it as normal. Try the thicker grade before you start pricing out engine rebuilds. Number 6. The VVT solenoid warning. Now I have to be fair and give you the one scenario where you need to be careful. Modern engines equipped with variable valve timing, VVT, use oil pressure to hydraulically adjust the timing of the camshafts. These systems use tiny screens and solenoids with incredibly tight passages. While most systems can easily handle 5W-30, there are some highly sensitive engines, specifically certain modern Hondas and Fords, where if the oil is too thick, the VRVT system reacts sluggishly. This can trigger a check engine light for cam timing correlation codes. If you drive a brand new car still under warranty with complex timing systems, stick to the manual until the warranty is up. However, for the vast majority of vehicles over 5 years old, the wear in the VVT system actually makes the thicker oil beneficial, not harmful. Number 7. The Turbocharger killer. This is the most critical point for anyone with an EcoBoost or any small turbo engine. Turbos spin at up to 200,000 RPM and are lubricated by a thin film of oil floating on a shaft. When you shut off a hot engine, that oil stops flowing and sits in the scorching hot turbo bearing. 5W-20 has a lower resistance to coking, which is when oil cooks into a hard, sludge-like solid. This sludge blocks the oil feed line, starving the turbo of lubrication on the next startup. 5W-30, particularly full synthetic, has better thermal stability and resists coking significantly better than the thinner grades. Using 5W-20 in a hard-driven turbo car is playing Russian roulette with your turbocharger. The thicker oil resists the heat soak better and keeps that feed line clear, saving you a $2,000 repair bill down the road. The battle between 5W-20 and 5W-30 isn't about brands, it is about physics versus politics. The manufacturers are playing a game of averages to satisfy the EPA, but you are playing a game of longevity with your own bank account. Unless you have a specific, hypersensitive VVT system or a valid warranty, 5W-30 is almost always the superior choice for protection, noise reduction, and heat management. Don't let a sticker on a cap dictate the death of your engine. Use your head, check your oil, and give your car the protection it actually needs. If this breakdown saved your engine, hit that like button and share this with a friend who is still afraid of thicker oil. Stay greasy, stay smart, and I will see you in the next one.